Hi, I'm Steve Whiteford, and through my work with Whiteford Resources, I help people by coaching them to become more authentic and at ease, by developing more self-knowledge and the skillful use of essential communication practices. Combined in a cohesive way, these skills result in the dynamic personal expression that we call executive presence. Now, when those same skills are applied throughout each member of a team, they deliver strong and dynamic team cohesion with greater effectiveness. Also, train these competencies throughout an organization, and what results is behavioral attunement and a successful culture based on the productivity of presence. Let's take a look at some of the methodology I use in my work. First of all, the competencies of executive presence and leadership communication are very important. Just how someone shows up in the workplace has a tremendous impact on how they're perceived and certainly on the workplace itself. These skills include simple things like body language, voice and speech, eye contact, presentation skills, influence skills, and leadership presence. Also, conflict management, interpersonal savvy, and working relationships. All of these behavioral attributes help determine whether we're successful in the workplace or not. To deeply attune the practices of executive presence with a client's unique character and preferences, I like to combine information from two assessments: the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator and Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Myers-Briggs gives you an overview of how your individual preferences are wired and how you may be perceived by others, and also does a great job of describing work style. EQI 2.0 is the most popular assessment for emotional intelligence, and its use has greatly increased productivity in many companies. It has some very practical points of focus: decision-making, interpersonal skills, self-expression, self-perception, and stress management. These scales are composed of subscales that describe the roots of our habitual behaviors. Interestingly, Dr. Henry Thompson has shown a very strong correlation between MBTI and EQI 2.0 because the individual types of MBTI test for very strong consistency across the challenges and the strengths of EQI 2.0. What's true about how we perform in life or in an organization is that behind every motivation, strategy, task, action is an initial feeling. And when we're able to become more incrementally aware of those feelings and how they determine our actions, we can progress very quickly and become much more resilient and open in our relationships and also in getting the job done. Mindfulness has become a very strongly recognized practice in organizations for increasing individual focus and effectiveness. When someone simply takes the time to meditate, to be quiet and focus on their breathing while noticing thought and feeling, they tap into a tremendous practice for building self-knowledge and achieving personal growth. Neuroscience has proven that mindfulness practice not only reduces stress, but also increases our ability to see things clearly. And finally, when we combine these approaches and practices, people develop a very strong authenticity, which is real, allowing them to be skillfully who they are. And from that results fulfillment and accomplishment. You can imagine that when the skills are applied by many individuals throughout an organization, it creates a deep foundation of well-being within that culture. And I'm sure you're aware that a lot of recent studies have shown that when we're all able to work with a strong sense of well-being, everybody wins.